Good afternoon, all. Let us continue with our learnings of Python. And in the previous lecture, we saw that how we can use tuples, how we can create a tuple, how tuples can be indexed, and that tuples are immutable. Today, we will move forward to see more operations on tuples and make tuples more useful. So let us create a tuple, a small revision. This is the way we create a tuple, by using parentheses and giving the values within the parentheses. Similarly, we create another tuple, and this time we give it some string values. Tuple is a sequence of values which can have strings and integers both, and different type of data types it can have floating numbers also. So we have created two tuples. Now the first thing we will see is that what are the different operations which can be performed on tuples. So like in list, we can add two tuples, and by adding two tuples, it basically concatenate the two tuples and give us a new tuple which is having the values of both the tuples. For example, if I concatenate t3 is equals to t plus t1, so t3 will become a new tuple which will have the values of t and t1 beginning with the values of t. So first the values of t will come, followed by the values of t1. If I am writing t before, then t will come before. If I am writing t1 before, then values of t1 will come before. So for concatenation of two tuples, the plus symbol is used as it was used for list and strings. Okay, so for concatenation, as you can see, this plus symbol is used to concatenate two different tuples. So the operation which can be performed on tuples, the first operation which we are seeing which can be performed on tuples is adding of two tuples together. But we cannot add an integer value to a tuple. We can add two tuples, but we cannot add an integer value to a tuple. Remember this point. If I'll print this, it will print the new tuple which will be concatenated of two tuples. Another operation which we can perform on a tuple is like we did for multiplication with a list. Means a tuple can be multiplied by a integer number. On multiplying by an integer number, it works with the same symbol. For example, t multiplied by 3 is basically t plus t plus t 3 times. So when we multiply it by an integer number, it repeats the same values of the tuples n number of times. So if I am multiplying t by 3, it will give us a tuple which will be having the values of t repeated 3 times. So instead of storing it somewhere, let's just use it in a print statement, and we are printing t multiplied by 3, so it will repeat this t 3 times. So the two operations which can be performed is we can add two tuples, we can multiply a tuple with an integer, but we cannot multiply two different tuples. Remember this thing. We can add two tuples, we can multiply a tuple with an integer, but we cannot multiply two different tuples. So this is one thing which is very important. Another operations or another functions which we can apply on tuples is, one is indexing, which we have already seen. The other is slicing. The slicing also works in the same way as it worked with list and strings. Let's see this thing. For example, if I slice print t index, we wish to slice from, you say, value which is at position 1 or which is at index 1. So we give an index, starting index, then we give an ending index. So let's take some more values so that we can have a bigger tuple, and we give an ending index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's give an ending index of 5. So what will it do is, it will take 4 values from 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will give a slicing as it was done with list. So we'll run this and see the output, that this is the way slicing is done from starting index till ending index. So when we run this program, it says for save. So let's save it by another name, tuple practice.py, and the program runs. So you see the output. We are printing T3. T3 is T plus T1. So this is the output for printing of T3. Then we are printing T multiplied by 3. Then this T, which was having this much value, is repeated 3 times, and then it is slicing of T. So we are slicing of T is starting from index 1. So starting from index 1, this is 1, then index 2, then index 3, and then index 4. So as we have already studied in list, it is the same way which goes in tuples, that this last position which we are putting on a slicing is omitted. So indexing is done from starting till end minus 1. So it starts from 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. If we have put 5, then it will index, it will slice till index n minus 1. So this is how slicing can be done with tuples. There is a in the same way as it was in list, if we have to put, we wish to take the reverse of the tuples. Reverse means we wish to index in the reverse order. So like in list and like in a string, the negative index can be used, with that is -1. The -1 tells about the position which is at the last. The last value is represented by -1. To reverse completely, we simply put 2 colons, we skip the starting value, and we start from -1, -2, -3 going till end. So if I'll run this, it will do the slicing in the reverse order. So this is the slicing in the reverse order for the complete tuple T. Okay, for the complete tuple T. So this is how slicing can be done in tuple. So to revise what we have seen, tuples can be created by using this parenthesis. We can concatenate two tuples by putting a plus symbol. We can multiply a tuple with an integer, and this will repeat the values of the tuples 2, 3, 4 times, as many number of times we multiply it with an integer. Second thing, we can slice the values of the tuples in the same way as it was done with list, giving the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means the starting index and the ending index. Fourth thing, reverse tuples we can have by putting a double colon and starting from -1. Okay, we can even do slicing from -1 till -5. That is also possible, as it was there in list. And this is a quick way to understand that how we can use tuples and what are the different operations which can be performed on tuples. In the next video, we'll be seeing more of the operations which can be performed on tuples. For example, how to find the maximum values which are stored in the tuple, how to find the minimum value, how to find the length of the tuple, and how we can delete the tuple. So we end up with this, and in the next video we'll be seeing more operations on tuples. Thank you.